Donald Trump, don't bash one of America's greatest success stories, because you hear that populist attack from him and a lot of other candidates where he's going after Apple. He went right after Apple and said Apple needs to be bringing jobs back to the United States. I don't think that it helps when a company has lost $250 billion in market value, right? That you're going to start bashing the company.
He couldn't do it anyway. The point is that he doesn't have the power to.
You can do with a lot of regulation. Congress can do a lot with tariffs.
All right, Craig Smith, if you'll just pipe down. I want to get your thoughts, Craig, on what a lot of these fine folks were saying, and that is confidence seems to be in question here, and especially among the business class. They're worried. They're very, very worried. Are you?
Yeah, yes, and the comments that were just made that we need a business-friendly environment were spot on. I mean, we have had the most unfriendly climate we could ever imagine. As David just said, when was the last time we came out of a recession where a government passed 500,000 pages of new regulations over the next 6 years? I mean, it's crazy. And if you look at the comments that William White, the Swiss-based chairman of the OECD, made today, it tells you a lot, because he said there's $1 trillion worth of non-performing bank loans in Europe right now and in emerging markets.
So what does that mean? Why is that a big deal? They've had non-performing loans for a long, long time. It's going to blow up now.
Because since post-Lehman, we've increased debt $57 trillion around the world, Neil, and that money didn't stay here that we created. It went to emerging markets.
Do you think we could have another meltdown, another environment? Because if memory serves me right, that took on a force and a heat of its own that went way beyond the rationale of the moment.
No, you're right, and I think Dagan is right on, too. The banks are much better capitalized and in much better positions, but not all over the world. You have to remember, the emerging markets was the benefactor of a lot of that created money that then pulled the whole economy along with it. We had the Japanese growing in the 80s, the Americas growing in the 90s, China and the emerging markets in the 2000s. Now you don't have an economic leader in the world, and confidence is being lost, and if your screens and a 1.98% 10-year Treasury bill doesn't prove it, I don't know what will.
All right, if we can hang on there, I'll go to commercials so we can pay our bills. Kind of important here.
You get paid?
No, that's just not necessary. Sandra, she didn't see the debate. All right, the VIX index, it's a sign of, I guess, market fear, a gauge of fear. It is shooting up. Right now, it is at 32, the highest it's been since last September. That is the market's way of telling you, ah! A little more to this.